history of video of Steve Irwin's death, which caught his final moments on camera. A lot of people remember the final moments of Irwin. Anyways, I did. I do. He was great. I remember I was the biggest fan of Steve Irwin. And then, I think right at the peak of my fandom is when Steve Irwin got killed by that stingray. It jumped right out of the water and pulled him right in the chest. It was caught on video. He shouldn't have been on the water, is what I've concluded. But Steve Irwin's biographer, Tommy Donovan, has revealed, or Donovan, has revealed the wildlife conservationist's tragic death. We already knew it was caught on camera. They said that years ago. I've even seen the video. They released it years ago. And he had a good-looking chest, too. And he was a great guy. Everybody loved the crocodile hunter. Loved him. And it was a stingray that killed him. The year is the 16th. This year is the 16th anniversary of Steve Irwin's death. Irwin was killed by a stingray just off Australia's Great Barrier Reef in 2006. He was down in Australia. I used to see him as an American guy, but I knew he lived in Australia. But he was held close to my heart like he was any other American. I was down in Florida when it happened in 2006. This was 1 year after YouTube was invented. He was attempting to capture footage of a normally harmless stingray when disaster struck. Funny that video was big on YouTube. As the animal lover went near the creature, it raised its tail and stabbed him. That's what they do. They sting and Steve's perspective was always that the animals were so friendly. But as if you've ever watched Cesar Chavez and learned, or just have learned from the animals themselves, that it's sort of a risky endeavor to deal with wild animals. Steve had a rule when it happened. It was to tell his camera crew, the rule was, you have to be filming, always filming, no matter what. Just keep filming. And that's sort of how I am too. The biographer continued, if he needs help, he will ask for it. The biographer continued, if he needs help, he will ask for it, even if he is eaten by a shark or croc. The main thing he wants is that it be filmed. If he died, he would be sad if no one got it on tape. Grandpa Crocodile, I know you would have been the most incredible grandfather because you were such an extraordinary dad. Thank you for being an amazing guardian angel for Grace. After his cameraman, Justin Lyons, caught the attack on camera, at first not realizing the severity of the situation, right? He was the top man. He was seen as the one with the most expertise when it came to animals. Not only that, but he took it in his hands as the man, so that if it was something like an aggressive animal, he was the man to take the fall, right? That's the man's duty. But as Steve has passed, women, they lost that man in which used to be Steve Irwin. And a lot of the women have been the heads of the household. But in nature, we know that we have different types of men and we have different types of women. Everybody knows that. We got mom, we got the sisters, we got aunties, we got uncles, we got brothers, we got little brothers, cousins, friends. And everybody plays a role. And unfortunately, Stingray was playing his role too. Anyways, he said even if we'd been able to get him into an emergency ward at the moment, we probably wouldn't have been able to save him because the damage to his heart was so massive. And everybody knows now the importance of our hearts as we have these rats attacking our hearts and everything. We know just how important those hearts are. Yes, the government and all that, the illegal government, that doesn't do anything for us, but still, they are the ones that have the rats and everybody poking holes in people's hearts. But anyways, back to Irwin. September 4th marked 16 years since the tragic passing of the much loved or beloved crocodile. I remember it plain as day 16 years ago. It was the day before, I think I proclaimed how he was my favorite animal man, and then it was the day after he had gotten the unfortunate event that happened. Irwin was stung by a stingray off the Great Barrier Reef in 2006. The Lord said that I may be one of his current favorites living here on earth. I do almost everything that the Lord asks me to do. Other than receive his blessing one time, I believe I denied his blessings. And there is a thing that says, if you deny the Lord's blessings more than once, then you will perish without any blessing, without any regard. So the next time I'm blessed, I'm sure to take it. And we have a process of the blessings through employment. God has people in power that work their way up, and they have the banking system, and that's how God in turn blesses you through the people. And he attempted to bless me before, and well, I got to hold an alligator too, only once. I've never held an alligator again. They talk to each other, the alligators, and the animals. And they say, Steve, and believe it or not, they know English and all that. And they say, this is the last time we're letting Steve hold us. And they tell that to their whole animal kingdom. How I realized that was when my cat started talking to his animal kingdom. They tell them, like, hey, are you being treated good? Are you being treated bad by him? Is he treating you like a cat? And he tells the other cats, in case you were to ever get another cat, or in case, hey, if you're treating the cat bad and then you get held up by a big cat. Same with the gators and all that when they're little. They say, hey, see, most encounters with the small gators, people go and they hold a small gator. I got to do it and all that, but it's not something you do more than once generally, maybe twice, but usually it's a one-time event that people hold a gator, they take a photo with the gator. Unfortunately, mine was just word of mouth. My dad, I came from an abusive family. My dad was worse than a big gator. He didn't do anything. He didn't take a photo of me. He didn't, it was just all word of mouth with my dad. But he taught me how to persevere. My dad taught me about perseverance. Most families, they get a photo with their gator. But, hey, it causes jealousy too. We had a gator head that got smashed by that famous judge on YouTube. She's not as pretty as a gator on YouTube. What's her name? No, not Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah, a real-life judge that has these powers. She came up to Canada with that power and destroyed my head of gator because of her jealousy. That she's such a loser, I guess, down there in Florida. She even ruined her ability to travel to Canada. Many Americans used to have the ability to come to Canada. They could bring their firearms. But little do they know that we also have a system just like the United States. So if you thought you were this person that, oh, okay, you can come up to Canada, right? But then they started threatening and saying, oh, we're going to go to war when we're up in Canada. We're going to shoot Canadian citizens with, no, no, no. And that's why a lot of you cannot ever come up to Canada. Okay? It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, you let me go down to Florida. Why wouldn't you be able to come up to Canada? Until I came back to Canada, and then we seen who was who with it. Now you're stuck in your own place. Until the older ones go, some of the older ones go, and it ain't nothing about Frank Caprio. Everyone loves Frank. It's about some of the other ones. And I never even looked close to this Frank Caprio. I only watched his videos. He's a more than fair judge out of Providence, Rhode Island, and even reminds me a lot of New Jersey. And he's famous for being one of the most compassionate judges, the ones that, one that'll actually listen. You're not scared to go in front of him because you know that he's going to actually look at what's on the table and he's going to look at who's in front of him. Generally, he deals with a lot of older ones, but even a guy like me feels like he would be fair with even me. He's known as the Fair Judge. FrankCaprio.com. Frank Caprio. Caught in Providence, I guess, is his special. Judge Caprio's critically acclaimed show depicts real cases heard in his Providence municipal courtroom. Some stories are touching, others wacky. But Judge Caprio's compassionate and singular style of justice is always on full display. Will he ever take Stacks and Millie to justice? Maybe he will, but I've never violated the law. Okay? But generally you go in and it's some normal people. That's how I see this, because I'm just sort of like this mongoloid. But to everybody else, it's just this normal world, right? And you walk into Caprio's and you explain to him, hey, what happened? He generally will understand. And hey, you're not going to get all the way off with it. Don't think that. But you don't got to worry. If you didn't do anything, he ain't gonna imprison you, right? iHeartMedia. He's even been to the iHeartMedia, Wendy Williams show, the Wendy show, or what have you, or just Wendy, I think. You can connect with Caprio. Okay. What's this here? Subject. Thank you for your service. And I think he's heard that one before. Great job, Frank. Why not head over to his website? Leave a longer message, more detailed, something specific for Frank to read. Maybe something more personal. What's this? Enter a valid email. Didn't I do that? And it's because of people like him that keeps your America so fair. No, the word isn't fair. The word is, it's the slogan. He's one of the people that keep America be one of the best countries in the world, if not the best. It's something Canada should replicate. We need more very humble judges, and guess what? Through his show, that is how it has taken effect with many others. Canada, I found out we are one of the greatest too, if not the greatest as well, but Canada had a hard time at first. We had a lot of ones looking, well, Canada learns from a lot of different places. They were big into their South America a little while ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. They were big. And when I was down in Florida, the rest of them were down over at. But then when they came back, they realized, there's all these people that we let in or whatever when we were down. So that's been going on with those people. And then the other people are saying, hey, wait. You were down in Panama. And when you were down in Panama, we bought a house here in Canada and we're citizens too. So now we're at the point where a lot of people they're in their places. We're getting back to normality. But there's also new families that are creating new relationships. And it happens at the same time that most of our citizens were caught up with that no new friends movement. Drake, no new friends. But that wasn't a good thing for a lot of people. It wasn't a good thing for Phil Thompson. It wasn't a good thing for a lot of ones. They thought Drake was in their best interest. Really, Drake could care less. No new friends was a way to screw up business. It was a way to screw up family in Canada and other places. It was Drake. I know everybody listens to me over everyone else. I know that they're going to listen to Callan. No new friends. If that person tries to be your friend, no. Yeah, and that's why you went out of business. No. And that's why you've got a 60-day notice. And that's why that person doesn't pay you rent and they left. And that's why, etc., thanks to no new friends. Start treating your customers better, and you might have some more friends. Gifts. Did you know friends give gifts and all that? They're wondering, Stacks Millie, how come you get gifts and I don't? I think I'm so friendly. Being mean doesn't get you anything. Being friendly gets you things. I learned that with my friend Jeremy. We didn't listen to no new friends. But no new friends butted in. And that's why me and Jeremy are at odds now. And Jeremy's not happy. He's got money. I'm extremely happy and I have little money, but thanks to no new friends. Okay? Thanks to no new friends, Jeremy is suffering mentally. He's still a virgin at 30-something years old. He has sex with his dog down in Texas. Said last night, are we going to talk about the dog thing with Jeremy? How he's never had sex with a real human yet. He's 30-something years old. And they have $15 million in their Wells Fargo account. Did you know that one time he ordered a prostitute in College Station and he punched her in the stomach? Yeah. Okay, and this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with some very bad idiots that have money that have sex with their dogs, okay? Like Jeremy and his dog, Ella. And he could take a lie detector. Bestiality is illegal here in Canada. It's legal down in the United States. We made it illegal here in Canada. Because what it does is somebody that has a lot of power, like a Jeremy, well, they're going to have to seize the money from Jeremy's family because there is this new bestiality law. It's like if you got $15 million and you have all these military weapons, how come you're having sex with a dog? That's unnatural. And it's disgusting. And it is, hey, how do you know all this stuff about Jeremy? He gave me the information. He gave me the information himself. And I have the right to disclose that information, that there's ones down in the United States that are having sex with dogs that then we have to listen to and agree with? I don't think so. We have wives and we're planning on having children and all that. And there is an episode of The Simpsons where they had sex with the dog or something like that, and there was the baby dogs that came out where they were and all that, and that is going to look very bad on that guy for the rest of his life. Not even a woman, I don't think, is ever going to want him because of his greedy, lack of generosity, way of life where they hide inside their home. Then they come out in the community and think they're higher up members of the community that have an opinion. Not anymore. It's being uncovered that, unfortunately, if you have sex with dogs and all that, then your opinion is not held at any sort of stature anymore. So refrain from having sex with animals if you plan on becoming an official here in Canada or the U.S. I mean, who's going to stand up at the podium and say, I'm smarter than you because I chose to have sex with a dog? Well, he's going to say we were saving money. I couldn't afford to have Bree down over in Texas. She's all the way in Pennsylvania. Funny how he's got $15 million in his Wells Fargo, and it only costs $800, an unnoticeable amount, to bring a female down to Texas. Because females create children. And the more children you have, or even just one or two, or just one, solidifies you as a man here in the world. And because of that choice, Brianna I don't even think wants the $15 million. She would rather just work it up herself, and and all that. Same with me. Jeremy tried to give me $50,000 to keep quiet. I chose the latter route. I want people to know what's going on because our national security would have been at risk. Had I have got that $50,000 to keep quiet, we would have never known what was going on behind the closed doors of some of our officials.